Thanks so much for joining us here in 90s Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi here on this toasty Friday. We've already hit 90 degrees. We're actually already at 91 here in Denver, which is going to make one of my graphics upcoming here already irrelevant. I'll show you that here in just a second and talk about that. But I want to kind of get into a bit more detail about this heat wave, what's causing it, and how long it might last, and also any potential records that might be broken this weekend. But the kind of overview, the thing that you really need to know is it's going to be really, really hot, regardless of how hot it does get. So both days we're going to be right around 100 degrees here in Denver. Again, whether it underperforms in the sense of, let's say we're at 97 or 98 in Denver versus 101 or 102, the impact will be exactly the same to you. It's going to be really darn hot. You're going to want to limit your time outdoors. Also, notice that thing at the bottom. The air quality is going to be really bad this weekend. It's already really bad today. And we're actually under an air quality advisory right now here along the Front Range, and it's going to be bad all weekend long. So those peak heating hours between 1 and 4, 1 and 5, 1 and 6, that time frame, I don't know if you haven't seen the Top Gun movie or whatever it is you want to do this weekend, I would try and keep it indoors during those peak heating hours because it is going to be so hot. Speaking of the heat, you might be wondering what exactly is causing this intense heat wave. So we've got a big ridge of high pressure that is dictating a lot of this weather. And what's behind this area of high pressure? High pressure is what it sounds like. You're getting a whole lot in the way of sinking air that is compressing down on the surface. Now, what you feel, little meteorology 101 for you, what you feel when it's really, really hot outside and what hot air is this really fast moving invisible air particles. And the faster they move, the more friction on your skin you're feeling, which is in turn heat. So the faster those air particles move, the hotter it is, the colder it is, the slower those air particles are. And when you've got high pressure kind of beating down the surface, like what we're going to be talking about this weekend, you're forcing the air to compress. You're forcing those air particles to move even faster and faster. And what you're feeling is that intense heat. So just in case you were wondering what exactly is behind that heat, that is what it is here, folks. And it is as simple as that. Just really strong high pressure. The stronger the high pressure, the warmer it is. And this weekend's area high pressure is a very, very strong one. I would say about exceptionally strong force this weekend. Now, with that in mind, today I mentioned we got to 91 degrees. And here's that already irrelevant graphic. Today, number 20 of the year for us here in Denver. When I made that graphic about 30 minutes ago, we were still at 88. So we were not officially at 90 plus yet, but we are now at 90 plus, which means we are at our 20th day so far this year, 90 or above. We average about 44 90-degree days. And by the way, I've gotten this question a few times. That is based on the 30-year record. We all know that things have warmed due to climate change, that we have seen a spike in 90-degree days here in Denver and also 100-degree days here in Denver. So that 44 number, that is based on the 30-year average from 1990 to 2020. So we're already at about halfway of the typical 90-plus days that we average a year. And normally we're on pace for about 55 to 60 90-degree days this year, roughly on pace for that. Normally the third week of July is kind of the midpoint of summer for us here in Denver, and the hottest week of the year. The record, by the way, which by the way I can't rule out, is 75 90-degree days that was set back in 2020. Now, one of the byproducts of all this intense heat is lousy air quality, and lousy air quality is caused by, well, a couple things. You can get it from wildfire smoke, but you can also get it from ground ozone. And that's when you've got especially during the peak heating hours of the day, you get the sunlight beating down the surface that converts the air over to ozone, long story short, and the result is that lousy air quality. And a bit of a misnomer is that wildfire smoke is behind a lot of lousy air quality. It can certainly be a driver in it, but this is the main kind of pollution and ground ozone is, and that's what we're seeing today. By the way, today our 12th day so far in 2020. 2022 with an air quality alert tomorrow and Sunday, very likely to be days number 13 and 14 with one. Speaking of tomorrow, it is going to be extremely hot, as I mentioned. And how hot does it get? Kind of briefly gave it away there, but it is going to be 99 degrees for us here in Denver. And I would not be shocked at all if we end up overperforming and get that reading up to 100 degrees. We're going to be right around 100. And again, the impacts, if it's 98 versus 101, it doesn't matter except for, I suppose, bragging purposes or not bragging purposes. I'll leave that up to you on that one and your subjective taste, but I'll just say this. It's going to be really hot tomorrow with a high right around 99. If we get to 99, which of course is our forecast, that would break our daily record. I mentioned this a few minutes ago, that our daily record for your day tomorrow is 98. That was set last year. We'll almost for sure break one, or at least tie it tomorrow, getting up to 99. Again, 100. If we get to 100, by the way, that would already be our second day so far this year at 100 or above. Long-term average, we average less than 100 degree day per year. In the last 20 years or so, we've noted a big surge, though, in those 100 degree days here in the city of Denver. Now, closer look in here at the front range and what you can expect for your day tomorrow here in Denver. Again, 99, probably downtown, but I would bet, if I was a betting man, I would bet a fair bit of money or whatever it is, that quite a few spots around the metro area will get to triple digits, even if we don't officially get up to 100 degrees here in Denver. Get a lot of spots, Platteville, Brighton, Longmont, some of the typically hotter spots. Longmont, Vance Brand Airport tends to be a hot spot for us in the metro area. Would not be surprised somebody comes in at 102, 103 tomorrow, maybe even here in Denver. Again, it doesn't take much of an overperformance for us to be getting up to that 102, 103 reading. And by the way, a little trivia for you. I don't think we'll be rewriting this trivia this weekend, but the hottest temperature ever recorded in Denver, I'll give you a second to think about it, 105 degrees. That's actually been done 5 times here in Denver. So we're not actually that far away from getting to the hottest temperature ever recorded here in Denver. Probably won't get there. It seems like a bit of a stretch, but wouldn't be absolutely shocked if we ended up tying in one of those 2 days this weekend. And speaking of this weekend, Sunday, I do think is actually maybe a tick hotter. This is our forecast this morning. I think we actually do get up to 100 probably one of these 2 days. Again, regardless of whether we're 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, the difference to you is it doesn't matter. It's kind of like when the most common question you get as a meteorologist before a snowstorm is how much snow at my house. And I always say this, we might say 6 to 10 inches. The impact of 6 or 10 inches to you is going to be fairly insignificant in most cases. Same with, whether it's 97 or 102 degrees, it's going to be really, really hot, regardless of exactly how hot it gets. Again, the difference between 6 and 8 inches of snow in practicality, in terms of what it actually does for you, is minimal. There's virtually no difference, unless you're talking about a spring snowstorm, you're weighing down tree lines, branches, then you can see a bit of a difference between 6 and 8 inches. But, 90% of snowstorms, the difference between 6 and 8 inches of snow is irrelevant. And same with, again, this heat tomorrow, the difference between 97 and 101 is going to be irrelevant as well. So it's really hot. We've established that. How long does the heat last? 7-day forecast. Well, it does cool down. That's the good news. Come Monday and Tuesday, we get some showers and some storms into the picture. And those will cool us down briefly before we warm back up again into the mid to upper 90s by the end of next week. And we could be back into this same at or near triple digit threshold by next Saturday and Sunday. A lot of the long-term computer models are already hinting that next weekend is going to be as hot as this one, if not perhaps a bit hotter. So if you're looking for some cooler temperatures, Alaska sounds nice. I'm being, again, facetious with that, but I would say that it doesn't look like we're going to be looking at much cooler temperatures anytime soon, or appreciably cooler temperatures anytime soon. Again, Monday, Tuesday, that's actually seasonable for this time of year. Our average high for this week, 89 degrees. So we're right around. I apologize for that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things on up. Joining us here on 90s Plus, I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and have a great rest of your day.